Are the warning bells echoing for Barış Baktaş? His sudden romance reveal has lit up the rumor mill like fireworks. Are the warning bells echoing for Barış Baktaş? His sudden romance reveal has lit up the rumor mill like fireworks, and everyone is talking. Welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. Before we dive into the hottest story of the week, hit subscribe and support the channel so you don't miss the moments everyone else will be scrambling to catch later. Some loves don't just stir hearts. They shake reputations. Some posts don't just draw likes, they challenge an entire brand built with discipline and patience. And that's exactly where our story begins. Barış Baktaş, a man who has long kept his private life out of the spotlight, a man who let his performances do the talking while his personal world stayed locked behind a measured smile, is suddenly front and center online. A fresh relationship. A single New Year's image. And a tidal wave of reactions snapping at his heels. Barış is risking the aura he worked years to build. He's trading in his craft for a few moments of noise. He's uncovering a side we were never meant to see. Are these online comments just the casual harshness of social media, or is Barış truly standing at the edge of a reputational cliff? Why did this romance spark such a loud uproar? Why did he step over the boundary line that he himself drew? Is this a sincere story of connection, or is it being fueled by visibility and timing? Tonight we break it all down. How the quiet, carefully curated image around Barış began to wobble. Why his relationship with Yağmur Yüksel triggered immediate whispers of a PR romance. The context that made the criticism snowball into something bigger than a headline. And how this might touch the most fragile part of any star's life, the work itself. If you're ready, we're opening a dossier the entertainment world can't stop passing around. In the glittery chaos of celebrity culture, not every couple is granted the word love without conditions. Some unions are weighed and measured against image, career trajectory, and the long shadow of public expectation. That's where Barış and his new partner, Yağmur Yüksel, find themselves. For years, Barış kept his wrists clean of tabloid bracelets. Interviews were cordial but careful, private topics were politely sidestepped, and his name rarely landed in those segments that thrive on speculation. That deliberate distance became part of his identity. Then came a simple decision that set off a different kind of fire. At the crest of the year's biggest social media wave, a photo surfaced and traveled like it had wings. Their New Year's post wasn't just read as a relationship announcement. It opened a bigger question. Is Barış letting go of the filter that once defined him? Let's talk about the image he cultivated. It was built with restraint. He appeared on red carpets, accepted roles that spoke for him, answered questions with selective precision, and chose silence over spectacle. His supporters loved him for that. They described him as the actor who stayed in his lane, who refused to turn romance into headlines, who put scripts and sets before gossip and glitz. That belief, the bedrock of his fanbase's trust, is at the heart of the storm now. Enter the new reality. The relationship with Yağmur arrived with instant intrigue because their public profiles couldn't be more different at first glance. On one side, Barış, a performer with a steady cadence, measured in his words, averse to empty noise. On the other, Yağmur, social media fluent, unafraid of visibility, her feelings often expressed in posts that travel fast. Their contrast became the opening scene of a larger debate about fit and future. The turning point was New Year's Eve. As champagne met midnight and timelines flooded with glitter and promises, Yağmur shared moments that hinted at a romance. Then, breaking a habit he'd kept for years, Barış added his own frame to the story, a photo alongside her. The picture was tender but minimalist, a glance and a presence. It might have looked simple, even ordinary, if it didn't carry the weight of everything he usually chooses not to show. That's why it exploded. The comments didn't sit softly. Congratulations came, but they were swallowed by sharper words that cut close to the bone. Longtime admirers sounded rattled. Some wrote, "This damages the mystique that made him special." Others warned, "Don't let the buzz drown out the performances." The language was strong because a chunk of the audience doesn't just see Barış as a person, they see a brand they've invested in emotionally. Why did accusations of a visibility romance land so forcefully here? Timing, 4-1. Posting at the most watched moment of the year can feel like an announcement designed to shake the algorithm awake. The dynamics of social media also played their role. Yagmar's active presence turned their bond into something instantly trackable, bite-sized, and endlessly repostable. And then there's the past. Barış never granted this level of clarity before. He could have loved quietly and let it pass. Instead, he made it unmistakable. That dissonance gave air to suspicion. Of course, it wasn't a uniform chorus. Many jumped in to defend him with pure-hearted optimism. He's allowed to be happy. People change. Let him glow for once. The idea that growth includes vulnerability found real traction. But the other camp replied with a cold, short sentence: the issue isn't love, it's the spotlight. They argued that the problem lies in the calculus of public perception, not in the existence of affection. At the core, we're staring at a stubborn question: does a star owe the public the same discretion forever? Or can a person reframe their narrative and still hold on to the respect they earned under stricter rules? In Barış's case, the tension is sharper than usual because his story was built on the opposite structure. If this is freedom for him, some cheer. If this is a loss of control, others shake their heads. One image, two truths. The fear murmured under many posts is simple: will the love story steal the show from the craft? One line keeps surfacing: they're talking about his relationship more than his acting. In the bumpy history of celebrity culture, that's the moment where momentum can tilt. Attention is useful in the short term, it keeps the name in circulation. But if the buzz keeps circling the romance while the work arrives second, the balance breaks. Where does Yagmar stand in all of this? As always, the loudest narratives try to pin responsibility on one person. Because she's comfortable online, because her posts carry confidence, she becomes the easy explanation for why everything feels so public. But this framing ignores a crucial detail: no one forced Barış to hit share. He made a choice that only he can make. If anything, the responsibility belongs to both, one for living openly, the other for joining in and changing course. Behind closed doors, a quieter theory has been circulating in industry corners. Some say Barış is pivoting on purpose. More approachable. More human. More emotionally legible. Less untouchable. It's a communication strategy that promises warmth and risks dilution. In a time when audiences expect authenticity, being distant can read as aloofness. And yet closeness, if mishandled, can become noise you can't turn down. That tug-of-war is not an easy one to win. So what happens next? The next chapter won't be written only by their feelings. It will be decided by the tempo of the public reaction, the tone of the media, the appetite of timelines, and the patience of fans. If the visibility keeps rising, more posts, more stories, more sightings, the suspicion of a performative romance will harden, and the conversation may drift even further from his work. If the couple steps back, lets the moment breathe, and allows projects to take the lead again, this could be remembered as an impulsive flourish that didn't rewrite the whole book. Because at the heart of it, we're left with one photo that set off 1,000 questions. This isn't just about whether two people are in love. It's about the crossroads where reputation meets emotion, where perception meets truth, where career meets the hunger for intimacy in public. Barış has always guarded that intersection like a gate. Now, for the first time in a long time, he's opened it. Will he walk through calmly and prove that nothing has to break? Or will the crowd rush in faster than he can hold the line? For now, this is where we are with Barış Baktaş and Yagmar Yüksel. A new chapter, a new tone, and a sharp reaction that refuses to fade after midnight confetti has settled. Some say he finally breathed freely and chose joy over image. Others warn that reputations are fragile glass, and one slip can leave a crack that never disappears on camera. Both sides feel certain. Both sides think time is on their side. So, what do you think? Is Barış walking straight into a visibility trap with this relationship, or are the critiques simply too harsh for a man who dared to be open for once? Should he hold the line and defend his love in public without apology, or let the romance grow quietly while the work takes center stage again? Tell us where you stand in the comments, because on the next video we'll bring your most striking takes right back here and weigh them against the latest moves from the couple. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for secrets behind the stars. This story isn't cooling down anytime soon. The energy around this couple is building, not breaking, and we'll keep following the parts no one else is brave enough to spell out. Until the next gossip report, stay close. We'll be here, watching the feed so you don't have to. See you soon, and Happy New Year.